Hello, everybody. How's it going?
All right. How's everyone doing out there?
TGIF.
TGIF. My name is John Gardner. This is my wife and law partner, Radlin Mendoza.
Hey, guys.
And we are the immigration law firm Gardner and Mendoza. We come to you usually Wednesday night from 8 till 9, but we had to change our schedule. So today we're coming to you from 12 to 1 on Friday. It's daytime. Seems a little odd for us, right?
It's odd. And who knows who's going to be tuning in from 12 to 1 on a lovely, beautiful Friday. Beautiful here anyway, in Virginia Beach, Virginia, where we are physically located. That's where our office is located on the East Coast of the United States.
Yeah, that's right. And we also have our TikTok family over here. Hello, everybody on TikTok. So we come to you on Facebook, and we also are on a simulcast with TikTok. And so if you have a question, make sure you get it in. We do this every week. What we like to do is bring you immigration updates. Sometimes we have immigration inspirational stories that we like to share with you. But most importantly, we like to answer your questions because we all know that you all have immigration questions. That's a little mid-Atlantic Virginia talk there. We know that you all have immigration questions. We have answers, but I will tell you that what we do here is for educational and informational purposes only. It is not legal advice. I repeat, it is not legal advice.
Not legal advice.
Not legal advice.
That's the announcement.
That's right. If you're trying to reach us, our office number is 757-464-9224, or you can email us info@gmlaw.net, or you can reach out to us through Messenger.
Yeah, absolutely. Right. Yeah. So guys, get your questions in. We do realize that it is a Friday and many people are working. We do have a lot of questions on Wednesday nights from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We've been doing that for a couple of years now, every Wednesday night. And put your questions in the comments. The floor is open. A lot of people on TikTok on a Wednesday night, they're kind of, stepping all over each other to get a question.
Right.
We have no questions on the board right now. Let's go with these questions.
That's right. This could be a very short broadcast today.
Yeah, because you guys don't want to just hear us talking.
We do have a story though. I have something I want to share.
Well, first I want to say hi to Lovely. Good afternoon to you. And Hazel, hello. Great to talk to you as well. And thank you guys for joining.
Yeah.
And if you're here, please say hi in the comments.
Yeah.
Like, Mom, if you're here, go ahead and say hello.
That's right. Mama, if you and Dan are watching, say hello. Rise to Run is saying hi. Sorry. We're acting silly because it just seems it's so strange for us to be doing
here on a Friday. But
here's my story real quick. So Radlin surprised me last night big time.
You surprised me big time.
It was my birthday.
Well, yeah. Can you pass me that one right there?
Yeah, it was my.
And it's Friday, and it's hi Sue. Sue's here.
Oh, hi Sue. There you go. I just didn't want to spill that. Hi Sue. We finally finished all the Texas sheet cakes. So every bit of it's gone now.
Aunt Sue she's a great baker. Let's just say that. Great all the way around, but a great baker, and brings us baked goods. Nothing says love like food.
That is
and
true.
Especially baked goods.
So here's my story real fast, which ties into an immigration story, sort of. So it was my birthday last month. Radlin surprised me last night with a birthday present. I thought we were going out to dinner with some colleagues for a business dinner, but actually we were just going out on a date. And Radlin also had tickets to see Yo-Yo Ma at the Chrysler Center here in Norfolk, which was completely awesome. We were sitting in the second row, right in the center. I mean, he was 8 feet away from me.
It was I was all the way in the way. You could only afford one second row ticket, so I was in the way back. And then it was awesome because it was a sold out show, but they released some tickets.
It was a sold out show. Yeah. He's one of the most well known musicians in the world. He's played, I found out, in front of 9 U.S. presidents. He played at the Biden's inauguration a couple years ago. And it's an immigration story because he was born in Paris. For those of you who don't know anything about Yo-Yo Ma, he was born in Paris to Chinese parents who were immigrants to France. And then they came to the United States when Yo-Yo was only 4 years old. And then he later became a U.S. citizen. And so it was really cool. So he is a U.S. citizen. He's an American cellist, and a great one. It was really a magical experience.
It was unbelievable.
It'd be awesome, even if you were a French citizen or a Chinese citizen.
Yeah, but
it still would have been great.
It's a great U.S. immigration story.
It's a great thing. That's what I was missing. It's a great U.S. immigration story because he gets to be ours.
We get to claim him.
Let's just say it.
But no. But from what we've read about Yo-Yo Ma, that's not what he would want, though. He would
not want that at all. That's
the
true.
U.S. to claim him. He is a man of the world, a man of the globe, a man of humanity, a musician for humanity. Anyway, we were super high. He was amazing. It was indescribable. All right, we have some questions. This is very exciting. Okay. We're going to take Robert's question first here from our live stream that is live streaming to Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. All right, putting up on the screen here. Robert says, how to update newborn baby to the I-130 of mommy's approved petition. So really great question. One follow-up question I have is the baby going to be immigrating with mom? Is the petitioner a U.S. citizen? Is the petitioner a lawful permanent resident? So there are things that we'd have to answer here get answered first before I could let you know the answers to that. But does the baby have claim to U.S. citizenship if the father of the baby is a U.S. citizen? So if that's the case, what I just said, then you wouldn't have to add the baby to the petition necessarily. And any information about mom's children can also be placed on the State Department form, the DS-260, when you get to that stage. But anyhow, congratulations to
petitioner's
you guys.
Citizen he added there.
Petitioner's citizen.
Yeah, congratulations on the baby. That's great.
You wouldn't need to do anything with the I-130 petition. It's already been approved. So it would be in the next stage of the visa application. And of course, your baby may have claim to U.S. citizenship. So we would be happy to check that out for you. That would be great. And really great question, but congratulations. So don't worry about the already approved I-130 petition. Make sure you put the baby on the next stage of the case. Great question, though. All right. Do we have any questions on TikTok? If you're just joining, we are simultaneously casting to TikTok. I'm looking at our internet connection here. It's
unstable.
What is the deal? I don't know what's up with that.
I don't either. We're too close.
We're too close. Yeah, we're too close to the what are those things called? The base, the windmills, the base and the windmills.
Okay, so we do our first question up here on TikTok is, hi, do you guys have any idea when EB3 and other workers to be current? I'm from the Philippines. Sorry, there was an extra word in there, but I think you got it.
Yeah, I mean, I just we just printed out. Oh man, I printed out the February visa bulletin, not the March. So current. I mean, Philippines should be current. It might be just processing times for you, but Philippines should be current for EB3. But let me double check that. So if you are not in the United States and you're waiting for your employment-based visa to become available, it's typically going to be a factor of just the processing of getting that application done through, if you're doing a perm, through the Department of Labor and through USCIS with the filing of the I-140 petition. So I know a lot of you guys are just like, what is she talking about? If you know, you know.
If you know, you know.
And the Philippines is current right now for third base preference category, which it has been for a really long time now. So if you're waiting, it's really not a factor of, hey, a visa is not available. It's more of, have we gotten the perm done? Was there an audit causing more delay? Is there an I-140 petition that employer did not pay for premium processing? So good luck. Hang in there.
Okay, you want to grab one from?
Sure. I don't want to miss anyone.
Yep. That's right. We got in big trouble a couple weeks ago.
All right. We didn't get in big trouble.
Somebody said that we never answered their question, but that's because we just didn't see it. We circled back to
it. So it's a true statement then.
That what's that?
That we never answered the question because we missed it.
That's true. It was a true statement.
All right. Abene says, please suggest where I can check the interview status for the IR5 visa documentarily qualified people in the Mumbai consulate. Ooh, I do not know the answer to that question. NBC, your SEAC page. Let me see here. I don't know the answer to that question, Abene. Sorry. Where can we check the interview status? It's hard to. I'm just kind of thinking there is no place to check it. There's no place to check it. I'm just thinking about our interviews. We just kind of have to wait and see what's going on and watching it. The only place where we are monitoring the interview schedules is just watching how many cases are processed per month and how many new cases are being added on. But there's just a huge backlog. But there's no one place, oh, let me log in here and see when my interview is going to be scheduled. It just doesn't exist. So, sorry.
All right.
All right.
Here's just a statement. I petitioned my husband since last year, February 14th, 2022. Until now, no good news from USCIS. So I guess the question I think that we can glean from that is, hey, it's been just over a year. Haven't heard anything. Should I be panicked or?
So, it really depends on whether the petitioner is a lawful permanent resident or is a U.S. citizen, right? So if you're a lawful permanent resident and you petition for your spouse, your petition is not going to be approved anytime soon. That's going to take a couple of years. If you are a U.S. citizen, then, you can expect that petition based on the current processing times to take anywhere from 10 and a half to 16 months, depending on where your case is and which service center. So it's not unusual that, here we are a year later, we're only at 12 months. If it takes longer than 16 months and that's the current processing times, then you can start making USCIS inquiries and say, hey, what's up? What's going on with my case? You're outside of the case processing times. But until then, really, you're within processing times and it's not strange. So I'm going to say that, just be patient. I know that's easy for me to say. You guys instead of saying just be patient, because that seems kind of like just hang in there. Just try to hang in there. Your petition hopefully will be approved soon. If you are a lawful permanent resident petitioning for your spouse, it's going to be a bit longer. But great question. And a lot of people are getting discouraged because of these long processing times. One thing that we try to explain to people who make appointments with us is that these processing times are really long, especially if you're doing consular processing. So when we say, hey, we're going to assist you with your case, we're going to represent you with the case, we're talking about 2 to 3 to 4 to 5 years sometimes or more of being your attorney.
That's right. We have a long-term relationship.
That's right. And it's not just whoever you is going to be your family's immigration lawyer. You will have a long-term relationship, hopefully, with that attorney, that law firm, the the business. And
that's a really good point. You are, when you're hiring somebody, to make sure to keep that in mind. It is somebody that you're going to be interacting with for, not just a few weeks or a month. It's going to be a long time.
Right.
That's just the nature of immigration law. So,
and when you do an initial appointment with an attorney, I wouldn't go with just when we're shopping for things, right? Because you are shopping when you're looking for a lawyer. When you're shopping for things, depending on what you're shopping for, you might be looking for the cheapest thing, right? You might be looking for somebody that's right across the street from you and right in your backyard. And, there are a lot of different factors, but I will say that cheapest is probably not one that you should use in determining, your attorneys in the business that's going to be handling your case. We do not vibe with everyone. Like if you're looking for the cheapest attorney who is going to call you once every 2 to 3 years, it's not us. So we're not the attorneys for everyone, and you have to find the person that fits with you and the business and the team that fits with you. Again, it's not just the immigration attorney. It's the person who's answering the phone. It's the paralegal. It's who's, how you feel and the comfort level that you feel with those folks. So anyway.
Yeah, be careful with anybody hiring somebody just because they're the cheapest, and also be really careful with people that don't adjust to immigration law. If you see a law firm that's handling a lot of different types of law, they may have somebody who is an immigration expert, fair enough, but just right out of the gate when you see that, I would be very careful with that, because a lot of people a lot of attorneys try to dabble in lots of different areas of law, and as a result, sometimes they're not very good at any of them because they're doing all of them. So look for somebody who's an immigration expert, and look for somebody that you have good rapport with, even if they're not right across the street, because the attorney doesn't have to be across the street from you. We have clients all over the United States. Yep. We have clients all over the world. That's the nature of immigration law. And any attorney who can't serve you because they're not close to you, that's a red flag as well. They should be able to do it easily. We do it every day. All right.
All right. So Bunny has a really great question. Bunny Mendoza, what a great last name.
That is a great name. I'm a big fan of Mendoza's.
Can I petition my kids even if I just have the visa stamp? I am still waiting for the actual card. The answer, well, before I answer this question, first I want to say kudos to you for, you don't know when you immigrated here, but you obviously haven't been here for a super long time because you don't have your green card. You have your stamp, your visa stamp, your immigrant visa stamp that shows that you are a lawful permanent resident of the United States if you enter with that. So if you've entered with that visa stamp, then yes, you can use a copy of the visa stamp, which is proof of your lawful permanent resident status in the United States, to file that I-130 petition for your children. So Bunny is on it. She is not waiting. And Bunny, remember, we can help you with that if you need help. All right.
Absolutely.
I'm going to take the ticker banner off. It's enough.
All right. Yeah. You all know how to find us, and hopefully you'll call us if you need help.
Yeah. And for those of you just joining, and for those on TikTok, a lot of times people ask, hey, how can we reach out to you and how can you help us? Our phone number is 757-464-9224. You can call us or send us a text. We should have a live person answering from 9 to 5 Eastern Standard Time, Monday through Friday. We do have people always answering our phone. And then also you can reach out to us through Messenger, and Rhea, and she monitors our Messenger messages. She has a 100% response rate according to Facebook, 100% response rate, which means like you are responding to these inquiries all the time, every day, within the hour. So Rhea, congrats. Rhea's probably not watching. She's probably like, I'm not watching the Facebook today. But if you are, Rhea,
yeah,
congrats on that. And you can also send us an email to info@gmlaw.net if you are if you are an email kind of person. info@gmlaw.net. So multiple ways to get in touch with us.
Yeah. Oh, she is. She says, I'm here.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah,
Good
look,
job,
folks,
Rhea.
I mean,
Ray, you think I'm not watching that, but I do.
we're going to continue with the questions, but I mean, it's your lives. You do what you're comfortable doing. But immigration is really important. It's the most important thing you're probably doing at the moment. If you're, in this process or you're about to start it, you're absolutely worth it. You should hire a professional to handle it for you, or at the very least, consult with a professional to make sure that you're doing it right, that you're entering the right process, that you're doing the right forms, that you're sending it to the right place with the right fees, with the right supporting documentation. I mean, there's a lot going on. There are a lot of moving parts in these cases. And when you make mistakes, not only is it costly in terms of time, but sometimes it just can completely ruin your case, and it can't be fixed. So you're worth it, is what I always tell people. I say, look, our consultation fee, for example, is $275. You're absolutely worth $275 to make sure that you get the most important thing you're doing right. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Definite high value.
Yes.
Okay. Let's see here. Oh,
We're back on the TikTok here. Oh, and there's your mom. Hello.
Hi, Mama. I talked to my mom and dad this morning. They are in San Mateo, Rizal, Philippines. They just moved their business. So if you're in San Mateo and you want to go check out MSM Surplus, that is their business.
Yeah. Go buy some stuff over there.
Go buy some stuff. Probably. And my parents, very, very hardworking people. Indeed. Whom I admire very much. All right, let's see here. We're getting a lot of questions. This is a Friday.
I know.
This is kind of giving me the vibes of like, should we do this on Friday, guys? Say yes or no in the comment. I like it. I like the morning time.
No, I kind of like it as well.
And don't say do it on Friday afternoons and on Wednesday. That's our. Don't say that. Okay.
All right. So the next question that was up on TikTok here was, my husband has a drug criminal charge and did time. So not a charge, a conviction, but yeah. Mm-hmm. Can he still adjust my status? So I guess she's concerned. Yeah. Husband would be the petitioner, and he has a drug conviction.
The spouse, the husband would be the beneficiary. Sorry. And the spouse would be the petitioner, the person who's
the one with the drug charge is
the beneficiary. Yeah,
he would be the beneficiary. The petitioner.
Beneficiary
okay. Does not have a drug charge.
My bad.
Her husband.
My bad. Yeah. So the question is, husband is a U.S. citizen. Let's just say U.S. citizen or a lawful permanent resident. He is the petitioner.
No, it's hard
to say. Yeah.
He has a drug conviction, and she wants to know, is he still going to be able to petition for me?
Answer is yes. All right. There are issues when the petitioner has conviction dealing with minors. If your petitioner is on the what is the
sex offender?
Thank you. The registered sex offender list, or any type of convictions dealing with minors, then there are issues with that. But a drug conviction where the petitioner may have served some time, he can petition.
All right. So good news for you.
Yes, good news for you. And we can help you with that.
Yep, absolutely.
All right. Let's see here. Let me grab a question. So let me try to do the name.
I don't do it.
Hifia Lua says, I had my marriage green card interview last January. So this could either be last year or last month at the Norfolk office. And that is our office here in the Hampton Roads area.
Yeah, last year, January. So I'm assuming he means 2022.
Right. It wasn't the best interview. Sorry to hear that. I was told at the interview they'll be requesting for more evidence, but haven't heard anything for a year now since the interview. Is there any help your law firm can render at this point? Sorry. Or is it too late to involve a lawyer? So this is a type of case that we most likely would not be getting into or getting involved in only because it's been filed. Not to say that other attorneys in the area would not, but if you wanted to inquire, I was going to say poke. If you wanted to inquire with USCIS or have an attorney inquire with USCIS about what is going on, why has there not been a request for evidence as was discussed, then you can do that. You can hire an attorney to write those letters, make those inquiries, do a congressional inquiry if that's what you want to do, and find out what is going on with your case. So it's not too late to involve an attorney. It's just a type of case that we would not be getting involved with because we want to and like to start cases from the very beginning. And there are exceptions to that, of course, if there is a request for evidence that we can help a new potential client respond to. If there is a denial and we take a look at it and we want to assist, but when there's just sort of a waiting, we're generally not going to get involved with that, unless of course there's a lawsuit and our clients want to file that lawsuit. So
good luck, Hifilua, and I hope we're getting that name right.
Yep. And the couple of things that may be going on here, and I know there are people who say, hey, I had this interview, it was last year, and John and I are married. For those of you just joining, we're just not. We share a home, a business. We have 3 children.
If you're wondering why
we share bills, we share small plates. Anyway, but a lot of people, they have this delay in their interview, the results of the interview, and they don't think that it went well. There could be a couple of things that are going on there. One, USCIS has not gotten around to doing a request for evidence, right? They haven't done it. I know you're just like not gotten around to doing it. It's been a year. Yeah, that happens. Cases fall through the cracks. It's been my experience that when a case does not go in a straight line, in the line that it's supposed to be following, and there are other factors involved, then the case can take much, much longer than say one that goes in a straight line. But in many cases don't go in a straight line. The other thing here is if your interview did not go well, as you're saying, your interview was not the best interview, there could actually be an investigation out about your marriage with your spouse. So there's a fraud detection unit at Norfolk Immigration Office, at all of the immigration offices. So if for whatever reason they believe that there is, and this is not just for your case, this is for any case where, hey, my interview was terrible, they could be deploying people to investigate your marriage. Yeah, and I know who the person is at the fraud detection who heads that up, and it takes a long time to put together a case, to do that investigation and to find out and to interview people and to do those. I can't remember what they call it. It's like the knock and drop, whatever, where they knock on your door at 3:00 in the morning and they're just like, hey, we went into your apartment or your house. You don't have any of your spouse's stuff here.
Right.
We're looking in the closet. There's only men's clothing and men's shoes. There are no photos of you. So, I mean, this is the fraud detection unit. This is what they do. So hopefully that's not going on in your case, but sometimes it is. All right. Shall we grab another?
So next question on TikTok here is, could you explain the 10-year bar, excuse me, inside the U.S. if all entries were legal? So they think that all the entries have been legal, but they think they're somehow subject to a 10-year bar.
So there is a 3 and 10-year bar. If you are, if you're in the United States and you have unlawful presence over a year and you leave the United States, then you can be subject to the 10-year bar. There's also something called the permanent bar. It's not permanent, but 10 years, there's no waiver for the quote unquote permanent bar, but it's if you have, an aggregate total of over 1 year of unlawful entries, 1 year of unlawful presence, and you've had more than one entry without inspection. So I'm not sure if that answers your question, but hopefully it does. And if 10-year bar has been thrown around, or you think you might be subject to the 10-year bar, please consult with an immigration attorney before making any moves, whether it be filing in the country, in the United States, or whether it's leaving the United States to go to an interview. Be careful. All right. Let's see here. Abinay says, my younger sister divorced and has medical issues, 38 years old, from India, wants to come to the U.S. Is there any way she can live in the USA? She cannot do asylum, medical visa, or visitor visa. Is there any other option with the latest changes or relaxation in the rules/laws? So Abinay, we would have to kind of really dig in to your sister's particular facts. There's no way of knowing, even though you've given me quite a bit of information here, that she's divorced. Well, not quite a bit, but some information here.
This would require a deep dive in the consultation to figure out what any possible option that there may be.
Yeah, if we're talking about any possible options in the whole entire scheme of immigration possibilities, a lot of times we get this question, hey, I've overstayed, or my sister is somewhere, and it's a lot. And a lot of times we don't even do these types of consultations just because there's probably 9 times out of 10 with something like this, we're going to give you a broad overview of immigration, and there's not going to be 9 times out of 10 a remedy. But there is that one time, right? So it's up to you whether you want to find that out. But I can't answer the question. We can't answer the question.
I mean, at the end of the football game, you throw the Hail Mary, it's probably not going to succeed. But I mean, you gotta chuck the ball and give it a shot, right?
Right. Yep.
For those of you who know football, I won't go into the details, but yeah.
Okay.
All right, question over here. Expedited request has been approved, but nothing has moved for 30 days now. Do you have any suggestions?
So expedited request for what? Right. I mean, what was the expedited request for? Was it for an interview? Was it for work authorization? I mean, it's tough to know. It's been 30 days. If it's an expedited request to get interviewed, 30 days is not a really long time. So it just really depends on what it is that you expedited. If an expedite request was granted and reasonable amount of time has passed, then you may want to get congressional involved. But again, we're kind of shooting in the dark here with what that might be. All right, Sheldon. Sheldon says, good afternoon, guys. Good afternoon, Sheldon. I had my citizenship interview last Thursday at the Norfolk field office and I passed. Congratulations. Got a message saying oath ceremony to be scheduled. Any idea when the Norfolk field office schedules oath ceremonies? It really depends on how many people are swearing in. I don't know. Sometimes it's 2 to 3 months. Sometimes it's the next month. That's very exciting. I hope that you get it soon. It's probably not going to be.
We know there's one on March 7th.
There is one on March 7th.
And we know
Sheldon, if you're there, then I'll see you.
Yeah, we know that because Radlin was asked to be the guest speaker at the oath ceremony on March 7th. So she will be there. For any of you who are naturalizing and taking your oath ceremony on March 7th, you'll see Radlin.
Yes, I shall be there with
You'll see me as well, but I'll be just.
I will be there, and I will be inspired by all of the people who are swearing in. It's one of the most. I love going to swearing in ceremonies. It's one of the most rewarding things that I've ever experienced, and just observe as an observer. And always, when I talk about my professional highlights of my profession, it is, of course, we've gotten a lot of green cards and we've got a lot of really tough cases through the system, and a lot of our clients have become green card holders and lawful permanent residents. Those are all awesome. But one of the highlights is always speaking at a naturalization ceremony, because I am so inspired by everyone who has gone through that process. Anyhow, did we answer Sheldon's questions, or we just talk about me?
No, you did.
Okay,
all
right.
We answered the question, and then we talked about you, because I did. I talked about you, and then you talked about yourself.
Yep.
And then, yeah. So we'll be there on March 7th.
Maybe
this is
I
not
should...
the first time Radlin has spoken at an oath ceremony.
No, it's not, but it's been a long time because of COVID. So I'm excited to be back.
Very excited.
All right. I'm loving Friday.
I know
Facebook Live vibes.
This could be the new vibe. I'm feeling it too. Okay, so switching back over to here to TikTok, because we kind of go back and forth. Question is, do you guys have any idea about divorcing a foreign spouse? So, I mean, that's a pretty broad question.
Do we have some ideas about it? Yeah. I mean, where are you located?
Right.
Are you trying to divorce your foreign spouse so you can get remarried here in the United States? Depends on state law. There are a lot of different aspects there, but yeah, we do know some things about it.
As immigration lawyers, I'm suspecting that maybe there's, a spouse somewhere else. A
spouse somewhere else that you're trying to divorce. Get rid of.
Exactly.
That's
well, I know. I was trying to think of a way to phrase it.
We're trying to use legal terminology here,
because we know what's happening there, and it's not like a nefarious thing.
It's not a bad thing. It just
sometimes people are in a process and they're maybe separated and even estranged from their spouse, and they realize in the process of their case that, hey, there needs to be a final divorce in that before anything else can happen. So that becomes a question. We would need a lot more information about where it is. And then even then we would probably have to be referring you to a divorce attorney, in the jurisdiction. Exactly.
Right. Here, I mean, when we've done it here using the, family law attorneys here, if you have no idea where your spouse is in the foreign country, then there has to be a publication. Just speaking very broadly here, because I am not a divorce attorney. A family law attorney. I have been before.
for a minute.
For a year. I did everything, but so there has to be a publication, and it's not going to take super long. I mean, depending on the jurisdiction where you are. So anyhow, if you're in the United States, our recommendation would be to find a family attorney where you live, in the state where you live, in the city and the state where you live, and pay for a consultation and get it done.
And that is a little exception to what we were talking about earlier when I was saying that we have clients all over the country, all over the world. Immigration law is federal law, so any attorney who's barred in any state can practice immigration law anywhere in the country. But family law, that is not true. So if you are trying to get a divorce, you are going to need a family attorney who practices, as Radlin said, in the jurisdiction in the state where you are domiciled, where you reside. Okay.
All right.
That's a different situation.
Where are we?
I've got a good question here that we get a lot. This question comes up a lot, so let's just tag it real quick. Can I still change my name during my N400 interview, even if I answered no in the application? And maybe we could speak more broadly to changes, like, okay, I checked one box, something has changed now. What do I do about it?
Really awesome question.
Very awesome question.
So guys, your N400 application is open through the interview. So if you have to make any changes whatsoever, if you want to come clean, if you want to change an answer from no to yes, then you can do it through the interview. So up until the point of the very end of that interview. Why are we emphasizing this so much? The reason is because this is very, it's name change. No biggie.
Yeah, we are, by the way, we're not suggesting that you did anything other than just a minor change here.
So this is a change.
It segues into a bigger issue.
The answer is yes. When the officer gets to the question of, do you want to have a name change? You just say, I said no. You don't even have to say any of this stuff. You can just say yes, and they will change the box, and then you will initial that you've requested this change, and then the officer like, what name do you want? I'm like, I really like the name John Gardner, and you put that name down. No biggie. They will do it through the application. And you may even want to lead the interview with, after you get sworn in and after you take the test, after all the nerves are done, and say, hey, I want to change my name. I checked no, but I want to change my name. That way it's out there, right? And this goes for any change that you want to make, even if it's something small where you're worried about it. So our clients are always worried about like, oh, I forgot to put apartment A. Can I do whatever change you want to make? Just make the change. It'll make you feel better. If it's those small changes that aren't really that big of a deal. But for bigger type changes, and when we talk about bigger changes, we're really talking about arrests, charges, criminal history.
And that's where we're making a big deal out of this. Not for something like your name. We're talking about folks who have not included, maybe a conviction of some sort.
Right.
And they decide that they're just going to like hide it. And even when they get there, they're asked about it and they just decide they're going to just dig in and they're going to deny. I know everyone says deny in criminal defense work. This is not a time to deny. Okay. That is not what you want to do in this situation.
Right. And I would even go one step further. And if you do have any type of criminal arrest or charge or anything like that, then the recommendation would be to have an attorney assist you with that. And, sometimes we have clients who have a lot of different little things, a traffic ticket here, a traffic ticket there, failure to, and our recommendation is to do an FBI background check, although those are not 100% accurate. They do provide a lot of different information, and you got to put it on the application. And if you don't, then, and they say, hey, you didn't put this on the application, even though it's a traffic charge, they're basically going to say, deny your application, say you lied on your application. You are not a person of good moral character. Right. Wait 5 years to apply again. Imagine if this happened to you and you have your spouse who just had your baby and your spouse is here on an overstayed tourist visa and she's waiting for you to get your citizenship. Right. But you didn't put the
better approach is, hey, riding over here today to this interview, I remembered that I had a speeding ticket in Colorado. I forgot all about it. I want to make sure that you all know about that. Or when they say during the interview, have you ever rented a car and driven through the state of Colorado? And you say, nope. And you have. And they say, are you sure you don't want to tell me about anything that happened in Colorado? Folks, they're giving you, they're serving it up to you to say, oh, that's right. You know what? I have been there. And you know what? I got a speeding ticket. My bad. I forgot to put that on the application. All right.
It happens more frequently than you actually know. And the reason we know that is because we have clients who come to us after their N400s have been denied, and they're looking at not being able to file for 5 years because of just little things. There's nobody murdered someone and buried the body in the backyard. That is not what we were talking about here.
We're talking about usually pretty minor stuff.
Yeah. And can your case get denied because of a traffic ticket? Yes, your case can get denied because you did not list a traffic ticket. Even though for many years at our local office, the officers would sometimes say to me, Radlin, you don't have to put the traffic tickets on the application. And I say, au contraire, have you ever been cited, charged, indicted, arrested? We put it on there because it doesn't matter. And it's better you got to put it on there. And it's, anyway. Yeah.
So thank you for the question about the name change.
We weren't coming at you about the name changes.
No, it was a great opportunity. We just want to make sure that people are aware of that because we do see that a lot.
Yep.
Okay. And real quick, while you're reading the question there, we had another one. This is like one of these rise to run said, if someone is in the U.S. more than 20 years, what are the pathways to get legal? You know, that's one of those questions again, where we would really need to talk to you. I mean, there are all kinds of legal immigration pathways, but we would need some facts. Just the 20-year fact is not enough for us.
Yep.
How they come in, when they, what's the status? What have they done since?
Are they in removal?
Are they in
there's so many.
Yeah, all those things we would need to know.
So have your friend reach out to us, and you're a nice friend to be asking about your friend.
Mm-hmm.
Your friend. Yeah. Anyway, Noreen says, a friend of mine was interviewed 2 years ago. He's approved for VAWA, and VAWA is Violence Against Women's Act, and it does not just apply to women; it also applies to men. So,
right.
Don't know when they'll
still named VAWA, but it's
Violence Against. Maybe they should do VAPA, like Violence Against People Act. Change it. Yeah. Anyway, sidebar. After the interview, he was given a letter that they will review more of his case. This week, he received an email from USCIS that he did not show up on the said date of interview! Exclamation point. Yes, I would be shocked too. How come? What shall he do? What shall he do? He should call us and see whether we could file a motion to reopen based on USCIS service error, because he did go to the interview from what I'm reading. So he should call us 757-464-9224, call or text for us to take a look at this. If he doesn't want to call us for whatever reason, it doesn't matter. He needs help, right? He needs someone to help him through this process. He had the interview. He was approved, as you say. It's huge. It's huge to not have someone help him reopen this case for a potential green card, lawful permanent resident status in the United States.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully he's already called somebody and made an appointment.
Hopefully he called us, made an appointment.
Right.
Or will.
So again, as John said earlier, you do not have to be in our town in order for us to represent you. You can be anywhere in the United States. You can be anywhere in the world if you have an internet connection. Raise your hand if you do not have an internet connection. You guys all do because you're here.
Right.
So anyhow, it's potentially a fixable. It is. Sounds like to me from the comment that it's a fixable problem, and we know how to fix it. All right.
All right, here's a question. We're moving over to TikTok here. Next question is, what will happen if you get a work permit through marriage and then the U.S. citizen spouse wants to file for divorce?
So you have that employment authorization card, the work permit. And the work permit is based on the petition that your U.S. citizen spouse filed for you and the green card application that was filed along with that I-130 petition. So if your U.S. citizen spouse withdraws the I-130 petition, then arguably that EAD, the work authorization, is no longer valid. What happens to it? Just like what happens if the spouse withdraws the I-130 petition? What happens if the spouse files the divorce and doesn't withdraw the I-130 petition? Maybe the spouse doesn't know to do that. They don't come and just say, hey, your spouse withdrew that I-130 petition, please give me your card back. Or they also don't go into the computer and say, hey, we're going to go ahead and just put some black mark on your EAD work authorization receipt number, and anywhere you go, it's just not going to work. If that's the question, that's not actually happening. And I'm not suggesting in any way that you work without authorization, but just hopefully that answers your question. Okay. Let's see here. Noreen has another question. Another question: is it okay to accept a student visa scholarship in school here in America while R2 petition is pending? Please advise. Thank you. So we have immediate relative, second base preference pending. Have you is it the petition that's pending? I don't know the answers in question. Is it okay to? I mean, if you're on an F1 and that's your status, then if the qualification is you're in F1 status, yeah, I don't know. That's outside of my expertise. School scholarships outside of my expertise. What do you think?
Yeah.
I mean, if you're an F1, I don't know. Do you want to let them know, hey, I got this fit? Toss a coin? No recommendations on that one, Noreen. But congratulations on the scholarship if you got one. That's awesome. All right. You want to grab one?
Yeah, sure.
We don't have timekeeper.
Yeah. Next question here was, what is the next step to take after my kids got in the United States? Wait, I'm sorry. There's an extra sentence there. What is the next step to take after my kids got their green card and they're in the United States? I'm a citizen.
Oh, okay. Well, congratulations to your kids. They may be able to derive citizenship from you. We'd have to take a look at that. If you do qualify for that, then you could file for U.S. passport and also the N600 to get certificates of citizenship for your children. Again, we would have to evaluate that to see if that applies. Yeah. If that is what your question is.
You should absolutely give us a call and schedule a consultation so that we can see what you need to do next and walk you through it. That's really good.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right.
I like John Walker's question here.
Is that a real question from YouTube? Okay. John Walker.
I mean, I don't know how.
I like your profile photo, John Walker. Mm-hmm. It's sort of like the name and the question. Before we ask John Walker, read John Walker's question, I want to just say hi to shout out to Miss Evelina. Great to see you. Glad that you could join us here on a Friday TGIF. Yeah. Loving the vibes of Friday Facebook Live. What do you guys think? Should we move it to Friday lunchtime? There are a lot of you guys here. I guess you guys take lunch.
Yeah, I'm kind of liking this.
I'm liking it because our kids really they don't like dinner being interrupted by Facebook Live. All right. John says, I am from China. Should I move to the United States or Canada? This is a matter of opinion. I mean, I think it's tough to get to the United States if you don't have, a sponsor. If you want to do a student visa. I mean, I don't know the answer to the question.
Yeah, it's wide open. I just caught my
Canada's cool as well. I don't know. There's so many. Why don't we let Facebook answer? TikTok, should John Walker move to the United States or to Canada? Let us know in the comments.
Yeah. Let us know in the comments below. Like our kids
all right. Know. You want to grab a question there?
Yeah, the question here is, can I be my parents' interpreter for their K-5 interview in Canada as they don't speak English?
So this is who asked the question? Amal?
Yep.
Okay. This live is about U.S. immigration, and if you were talking about it being an interpreter for your parents' interview in the United States during, say, an adjustment of status interview, then the answer would be yes. But I don't know. We don't know what the answer would be if they allow a family member. And that's the gist of the question. Will they allow a family member to interpret during a immigration interview in Canada? I do not know the answer to that question.
Right. You'd have to consult with somebody.
Yep.
Up there. Hey. All right.
Come on.
What?
All right.
That's a real Canadian thing. Ask any Canadian.
Okay. We can ask them all. Is that a thing? That is a thing. I've heard it. I've heard it. Okay. Good afternoon, guys. Please just to know, when you're a citizen, wife, or you still have to apply for U.S. citizenship. And after 3 years with 10-year green card, can I petition for U.S. citizen yet? Inez. Let's see here. When you are a U.S. citizen's wife, do you still have to apply for U.S. citizenship? Yes, you do. You cannot derive citizenship from your husband or for your wife from your spouse. After 3 years with a 10-year green card, can I petition for U.S. citizenship yet? So the question is, when can I apply for U.S. citizenship? If you derived your lawful permanent residence from, if you're married to a U.S. citizen who has been a U.S. citizen for at least 3 years, and you've been married to that U.S. citizen for at least 3 years, and you have been living with that U.S. citizen for at least 3 years, then you can apply for U.S. citizenship at the 3-year mark. If that does not apply to you, let's say you got your green card from your mom, you would have to wait 5 years. If you got your green card from your employer, you would have to wait 5 years as a lawful permanent resident before you can apply for U.S. citizenship. Inez, I hope that answers your question. It was a good one. All right.
All right. Can my 16-year-old daughter apply for a U.S. passport while the N600 is being processed by USCIS?
Yes.
It's me, Live02. The answer is yes. Go for it.
Yep. Congrats on applying for the N600. N600 is an expensive little form. We used to say, when we first started practicing immigration law, the N600 has always been a pricey form. And when we had this situation where a child could derive citizenship from their parent, and we would always say, hey, if you want to save money, just file the U.S. passport, and you don't have to worry about the N600 and paying all that money for that. We have since changed our tune on that, just because there have been circumstances where, say, your child, who is now an adult, wants to join the military, or wants to be in some type of special agency, or wants to do some other thing. We have found that they're asking for the certificate of citizenship and not just the U.S. passport. So that's a pain to, put your life on hold while you're trying to get the N600 filed and approved, which, can take a couple of years. So do it for your kids now. We definitely salute you for doing that for your children, because you're saving them a big hassle in the future. So good job, mom and dad, or just mom. All right, guys, let's see here.
All right. Do we have another question over there?
Yeah. Evelina says, a beautiful photo, Evelina. Mm-hmm. My friend is trying to sponsor her niece to come to America from Ghana. What visas can she apply to bring a niece? Her mom is deceased. I believe she's over 18. So, niece could potentially apply for a student visa, but your friend cannot directly petition for her niece, unfortunately. But she could try for a student visa like your cousin did. By the way, how's your cousin? Hopefully he got all that worked out. But there's not tons that aunt can do other than just help with financial sponsorship if she went with the visa category. So no similar programs like the I-134. Miss Kimberlyn says, hello, power couple. Ooh, I like the sound of that. All right, guys. Oh, look at the kids. Wow, right. They're all so grown up.
Snag one last here on
one
TikTok.
Last, it's one.
We had.
Oh wait, I have an appointment.
Yeah, we had addressed this a little bit earlier, so you can go back and look. It says, I have a misdemeanor conviction. Can I still petition my mom? Probably.
Yes. Yeah. Probably.
There were some very, very few exceptions, but the answer is most likely yes. Yep. All right.
All right, guys. Well, listen, it has been an amazing Friday spending with you guys. We like Friday. We will think about changing it to Friday, but we've been doing Wednesday. We've been doing Wednesday for so long.
That's all right. Friday noon to 1. Change is fun.
Yeah, change is fun. Change is good. Let us know.
All right.
Bye, guys. Thank you so much. It's been awesome.
2 thumbs up.
Thumbs up to you guys.
Either next Wednesday at 8 or next Friday at noon.
Check out our socials to find out when we're going to do it.
All right. Take care, guys.
Bye, guys.